Friends, now we'll see what is 3D sum. Now what is 3D formula? 3D formula is like calculating the same cells or the range of same cells from different sheets. Now what is 3D sum here? The 3D sum is calculating the total from different sheets to a particular sheets. In our case, if you can see, I have sheet 1 by the name of January, which is Jan, by the name of Fab, the sheet 2, March, April and May, and I want the grand total on another sheet by the name of grand total. Now the precondition for this is that everything, it should be on the same cell. You cannot write it haphazardly. It has to start from A1 and has to end at B10 and every sheet, so this 3D sum will work. Now how to calculate this 3D sum? It's very easy. Let me show you here. Now I'm starting the function from here where I want the total on the grand total sheet. So I'll type is equals to sum, bracket open. Now what I'll do, I'll go to first sheet. I'm going to the first sheet and I'm selecting this first cell, which is B2. So I have typed the function on B2 only on the grand total sheet. Now I'm selecting B2. I have just selected B2 and I'm pressing shift and I'm selecting all the sheets one by one. I can select one by one also, I can select the last sheet also in order to select all the sheets. Now I'll close the bracket. So I'm without movement of the cursor, I'm just closing the bracket and I'm pressing enter. So as soon as I have pressed enter, I am back to the grand total sheet and the total is 50. Now what I have to do, I have to simply drag it. So this is how I got the total of all the different products purchases from different sheets to one particular sheet, that is called grand total, in just by one click. So that is called 3D sum. Now what is the magic of the 3D sum? The magic is, suppose you have added this and after calculation you found that this one particular sheet by the name of June is left to be added. Now I have deliberately kept it as 10,000 because once it gets added, you can come to know that the big figures are added, right? Now how do we add this June? Do we have to recalculate the entire function? No, nothing like that. What I'll do, see, the magic of the 3D sum is, I'll just pick June from here and I'll keep in between, anywhere between the range of the sheets that I have selected. And if you look at the grand total, 10,000 is added to all the purchases. Right? So likewise I can remove also. Suppose I want to remove this sheet from here, I can put it and I can keep again on the right side of the grand total. Not only that, if I want to remove any existing sheet, suppose I want to remove March, so I'll pick the March and I'll put it from my cursor to right side of the grand total. So anything which goes out of this range will be deducted. Anything which comes into the range of 3D sum will be added. So that's the magic of the 3D sum. I'm sure that you must have enjoyed. Now please try it on your screen. Thank you. Dear friends, now we'll see what is hyperlink. We'll see how to create hyperlink, how to edit and delete hyperlink, right? Now the process is same in Excel, Word and PowerPoint as well. So all three have the same shortcuts, which is Control K. Now what are hyperlinks? While surfing the web, we come across a lot of hyperlinks. It always says click here, in order to visit a website, click here. In order to claim this, click here. Now that click here taxes itself is a hyperlink, right? So in this case, I have written this Google, and if you can see there's an underlined Google written, that's a hyperlink. Whenever I'm keeping my cursor on that particular word Google, it's showing me a pop-up, and the pop-up says www.google.co.in. So that's a hyperlink. If something has an hyperlink, it will show the pop-up as well. Now how to create that? Suppose if I type Google here, I want to give it a hyperlink. So there are three ways. One is I can give from insert. If you can see this insert, yeah, so this link, I can click this and I'll get this box. Or if you just keep the cursor on the link, it will show the shortcut. So Control K is the shortcut. So if I keep here cursor on the tags, if I press Control K, so that's again I'm getting the same box. So that's the same method. Or I can give a right click and link. So if you can see on the last, the link is, so I can add a hyperlink from here as well. Now this is existing file. Now this is a web page existing file. The same is the selection. I have to simply add the web address, which is www.google.co.in, and I'll press OK. If you can see, this text has become highlighted, and whenever I'm keeping my cursor on the text, it's showing me that it has a google.co.in. Now I can give the hyperlink to click here. Right now the click here itself becomes the hyperlink a lot many times. So shortcut is Control K. I can just type www.google.co.in and see the click here has become the hyperlink. But suppose if we want to hide the hyperlink, I want the hyperlink to be there on the tags, but I do not want it to be shown by a pop-up as it is seen on the screen now. Now how can I hide that hyperlink? So we have screen tip for that. Now let me go once again, because I already have a hyperlink, so I can edit the hyperlink. How do I edit it? I'll keep the cursor on particular tags. I'll give a right click here, and if you can see edit hyperlink, so I'll go here. Here I can edit the hyperlink. Suppose instead of Google I want to change it the web address, so I can do so. Now here is the screen tip I was talking about. I'll click on the screen tip. I'll again get another hyperlink, and I can say my website, and this will appear. Now whenever I keep the cursor here, it will show my website. Right, so it has hidden the address which we have provided, the web address, and it shows my website. So whatever we write in the screen tip, it will appear there. Suppose I want to delete the hyperlink, so what I can do, I can go here, and if you can see remove hyperlink, yeah, so this is how we can remove hyperlink. So we have learned how to add a hyperlink to a particular tags, what are the various methods, how to edit the hyperlink, and how to delete a hyperlink. Also, if you want to hide that particular hyperlink, so how can you do that with the help of screen tip? Now please try on your Excel. Thank you. Now we'll learn how to create a drop-down list. Now I have 4 different names of different countries here out here, and just right after the last one I want the after the last one I want the drop down list here of all these names appearing here. Now how would I create that? So first I have to select the cell. Suppose I want to I want the drop down list here, so I'll select this cell. I want the drop down list here, so I'll select this cell. So wherever we want to drop down list, we will select that particular cell first. Then what I'll do, I'll go to data tab, I'll go to data validation, and there will be a little dialog box appearing here. Now it will say any value, so instead of any value I have to select list, right? So we want the drop down list, and it's asking us the source. Now of course we have to provide a source, because as we have already seen, there are more than 10 lakh rows and more than 16,000 columns in one sheet, right? So if it is from this entire place, we should have a source where it can fetch the information from. So what's my source? All the names of the countries. So I'll select the source like this. I'll just drag it, I'll select it from my mouse, and I'll press OK. That's it, and I have my drop down list ready, right? So if you can see India, China, England, right? Now suppose I want to change, let's say I want to change India to Pakistan. So it will also be updated into the drop down list. If you can see, the Pakistan is added and the India is been removed, right? Now I want to delete the drop down list. How can I delete the drop down list? Again, I'll have to select where the drop down list is. I have to go to data validation, and if you can see clear all, I have to simply press clear all and it will be removed. I hope it is cleared now. Please try yourself. Thank you. Friends, now we will learn what is dependent drop down list. Now, as the word itself says, dependent means one drop-down list is dependent on another drop-down list. Suppose here I have the list of cities. Now, the cities drop-down list will be dependent on its states drop-down list, right? So, I have prepared a small table where I have written a few states names of India: Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and Himachal Pradesh, and these are their respective cities. Now suppose if the drop down list, if I in a drop down list, if I select Gujarat, so the cities of Gujarat should appear here. If I select Maharashtra, the cities of Maharashtra should appear here. So I can say this drop down list is dependent on this drop down list. Like I can say the drop down list of the cities is dependent on the drop down list of the states. Now in order to prepare that, we need to understand a few concepts of Excel. Now what is direct and what is indirect? Suppose if I write my name here, and if I say to this E9 cell that equals to, you are equal to D9. So I have said to E9 that you are no longer E9, you are D9. So I have said E9 equals to D9. So whatever appears on D9 will be automatically appearing on E9. Suppose if I make it 1, 2, 3, it will appear 1, 2, 3. Right? So this is called direct. Now what is indirect? Suppose if I type A2, now that's a cell reference A2, right? And if I say is equals to indirect of this cell, which is D11, now it will not type A2, but it will look into D11. This cell will look into D11, and D11 has a reference of a one particular another cell. It will go to A2, and what A2 has? A2 has Ahmedabad in it, the name of my city. So it will appear Ahmedabad to me. See, so that is called indirect, right? Now, having understood these two things, we need to also understand the range of cell. Now, what is the range of cell? Suppose if I select this particular cell, now this is E9. If you can see E9 in the name box, right? If I select here, that is G3. So the particular cell it is, which is an intersection of the column and the row, it has a name. But if I select the range of cell, suppose if I select, so this does not have any particular range. It will show only the first cell name, which is G5. Now how do I do that? Now first of all, I have to select this. Now please pay attention on the manner and the method how we select it, because we can select the table like this also, right? And I'll press Control and untick what are the blank options, but I have to select it like this. I'll select this, I'll press Control, I'll select this, I'll leave the blank, I'll select this. I have continued pressing the Control button, and I'll select this, and I'll go to Formula tab. I'll if you can see this, create from selection, I'll give top row. I'll select top row as heading. I'll press OK. So what it has become, if you can, what it has done, and what this table has become, if you can look at the name box, now I can see Gujarat, Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh and Rajasthan. These all state names have become the name range. Now if I select Maharashtra, so all the cities of the Maharashtra will be selected. If I select Gujarat, all the cities of the Gujarat will be selected. If I select Rajasthan, all the cities likewise it will happen to the Himachal Pradesh as well. Right? So we have given this name range. What it has done in the background, this Gujarat has become the name range for this particular cell. Now I have to simply give the drop down list. Now for state, it is very simple. I'll go here, I'll click the state cell where I want the drop down list. I'll go to data tab, I'll click here, data validation. Instead of any value, it will be list, and the source will be this horizontal. So this is the source, and I have to press OK. So look here, this is, I have got the state drop down list. Now for cities, again I'll click on the city cell, I'll go to data validation list, and instead of source I'll type indirect, bracket open, indirect of this cell, like indirect of this particular drop down list. So whatever state's name appear, it will show me the equivalents city name for that respective state. Now I'll press OK. Now I have the drop down list. Let me check. Yes, so for Maharashtra I have Mumbai, Pune, Nashik. So these are the names, Mumbai, Pune. For Rajasthan, let me check. I should have this, Jaipur, Udaipur. Yes, these are exactly appearing. For Gujarat, let me check. Yeah, for Gujarat I have the cities of the Gujarat. So I have written this Ahmedabad, that's my city, I stay here. So I have decided to take this local area names to all of you. I'm sure that you all have learned and enjoyed what is dependent drop down list and how to create it. Please try yourselves. Thank you so much.